So you're stuck at the bottom of the leaderboard with fewer kills than anyone else, feeling like a burden to your team. It's frustrating, demoralizing, and makes you question your skills. But what if I told you that your impact goes beyond just kills, or that being at the bottom of the leaderboard doesn't define your value or contribution to the game? As someone who has reached Immortal and was silver at his lowest, I want to explain how I shifted my mindset to recognize the crucial role that I played, even without racking up high kill counts in many of those games. I'm going to cover 3 key concepts that will make you think about Valorant in a different way and lead to you winning more games and ranking up, all while minimizing frustration if you bottom frag. You'll feel more confident in your gameplay, contribute more effectively to your team's success, and you'll start seeing the wins and ranks that you've been striving for. The first thing that you have to change to make bottom fragging less frustrating for you is changing what your definition of success looks like in Valorant. There's nothing wrong with going into ranked, queuing up, and just playing to have a good time to see if you can rank up, but if you want to take it more seriously, you have to give yourself a concrete, realistic goal to hit. A lot of players get angry because they're 1 or 2 games away from ranking up, and when they bottom frag, they're frustrated that they can't get to that next rank. How many times have you been in a rank up game or a rank down game, didn't perform how you wanted, and ended up getting frustrated by it? It's because you're focused on the short-term gain and haven't defined what success looks like for you in the long run. I'll give you a personal example. In episode 7, I was Diamond 3 because I was just playing ranked to play. I decided I wanted to take it more seriously and set my goal at hitting Immortal. I didn't care what my stats were, I didn't care how many losses or how many wins it took for me to get there, I just cared that I hit it. So when I played games, my focus was always on how can we win this game, because that's what I needed to have happen to get to Immortal. Notice how I said how can we win this game and not how can I win this game, but we'll talk about that later in the video. I lost a lot of games, I bottom fragged through games, and through it all I didn't get frustrated because I knew that given enough time, practice, and commitment to the goal that I had, that I could hit it. Now if you're in bronze and you're setting your definition of success as Radiant, you'll have to make sure that your expectations are met with a realistic timeline for that, so if you do bottom frag through certain games, you're not getting frustrated. You're not going to hit Radiant in a month, so stop playing like that's how it works. Jagimo, one of the best players in the world, started his journey in gold. You should be focused on small incremental improvements to your game that will add up to your long-term goal. When you're thinking of your definition of success, work on breaking that down into incremental, achievable goals. If you want to go from bronze to Radiant, look at areas of your game that need to change to get there. If your KD is really low, start there and work on aim training. If your game sense is non-existent, play agents that force you to learn every round through failure. And here's a hint, it's not Jett or Reyna, so stop picking them if you want to increase your game sense. What's important is that you have something to work towards that is not rank based. You can always improve your aim. You can always improve your game sense. You can always improve your decision making, and you can always improve your communication. If you improve those over time, then when you inevitably bottom frag in some games, you're not getting frustrated with it because you have a clear path to direct your attention now. The next mental shift you have to work on to stop getting frustrated with bottom fragging is probably the hardest one when it comes to rank, and it's changing your mindset to think about the team instead of you. This is a tactical 5v5 team focused game. This isn't you versus 5, and your team isn't garbage. Let me make that last point more clear. Your team is the same skill level as you, otherwise you would be in a higher rank. So stop thinking about ways to carry a team through fragging and start thinking about ways that you can set your team up to be as successful as possible with your role. There are way too many guides and videos out there about bottom fragging that tell you to pick Reyna or Jett and grow confidence, when confidence is not the issue. Your approach to the game is. I would rather have a player in my lobby bottom frag but is a master at team play and utility usage with 10 kills than a cracked out Jett with 27 kills that doesn't understand how to effectively create space for our team and play off of our surrounding utility as a team. To change your mindset if you're bottom fragging, you have to ask yourself 3 questions. The first one is, what can I do to make my team's game easier? This one is simple. Regardless of role, you're going to have utility to make an impact. So find ways to use your utility extensively in each round if you're not getting any frags. Master your roles so that you use your utility without second guessing the timing and locations to use them. The next question requires an immense amount of selflessness, and it's how can I set up those that are popping off this game? You need to get comfortable with the fact that sometimes there are people in your server that will pop off harder than you will. If that's happening, try and understand where you fit into the equation. In my games, as I was climbing, there were plenty of times where I had a person on my team popping off, and I would try and find ways to make that person's life easier, whether it's through utility, comms, or anything else that I could find to give my team an edge. Aspas usually ends up top fragging on every server that he plays. You think that his teammates care at all that they aren't aren't the ones fragging out? No, because they're setting up their team to win the game, which is all that matters to them. At the end of the day, their definition of success is winning, and they realize how they can make the largest impact and are okay taking a backseat when necessary. This doesn't mean that you need to be playing scared or not taking fights. It means that you have to make better decisions before you go off and try and take those fights. Is your utility necessary to help the rest of your team, or is the frag you're trying to get more important? Sometimes one is more important than the other, and that's fine, but you have to be okay understanding that not every single game needs to be you chasing kills and getting on top of the leaderboard. And look, if you're happy getting 35 kills and losing games because most of those kills were not impactful at all, or you didn't play your role well enough to help the other 4 people on your team, then you'll stay hard stuck in whatever rank you're in. Not all frags are created equal, so stop acting like they are and start focusing on winning games instead of fragging alone. And the last question that you need to ask yourself to change your mindset about bottom fragging is, am I communicating with my team, or have I shut down because I'm bottom fragging? This is probably the hardest of the 3. It's extremely common to bottom frag and then shut down because of it. And unfortunately, this even happens at the pro level. Back when Fnatic played Loud in Champs and was down 11-3, the comms were down pretty bad. But look at what their coach Mini had to say at the timeout that he called.
Right. Boys, this is it. I just want to hear some comms, okay? Like, I feel like our comms have just disappeared, okay? Like, if we just play like it's crap, just communicate like it's crap, I feel like we got a shot in this still, okay? It's a difficult situation, it's stressful, take some breaths as you need it, but I'm telling you, the comms have just dropped to a point where, like, we can't win with these comms, okay? Yeah. If we comm up better, we can win this, okay? I want to hear, if someone's doing a cascade on you, I want to hear it. Start of the round, if they got an ult, I want to hear it. If they're doing this, I want to hear what they're doing, okay? And you need to, dead people, you need to be telling what's going on. Like, they're lurking across the map on that attack side. Like, we just need to know what's going on, okay? So this attack side, focus for this scrim, for this half of the scrim, is communication, okay?
At the end of the day, communication is still the single most important element of this game. If you're bottom fragging and you feel like not even your utility is making a difference, I want you to focus on telling your team what you see is happening on the map. It doesn't matter if you think they see it or not, communicate it. If you see your teammates on the other side of the map and you spot 4 on the side your team is playing on, you want to communicate that so the teammate you have on the other side of the map can more confidently approach their site and maybe get a pick in a 1v1. Communicate everything from utility that's being used, utility that you're using, who you've killed, where the enemies are that you see, ultimates being used and where, everything and anything that's relevant to the round. You should be communicating that. What that does is set your team up for success even if you're not finding it through fragging. The last mental shift you have to work on if you're bottom fragging is learning to appreciate the importance of the decisions you make in game to stay alive and how that changes the game for your team. In almost every VOD review I've done, I've noticed that players tend to focus on 2 things, their aim or their utility usage. Well, in my opinion, both of those things don't matter if your decision making isn't solid. Boaster here makes the right decision to leave the site because he knows him staying alive is crucial to the round. If he makes the decision to stay on site just to get a pick, his team has an impossible time retaking without the Astra wall and probably loses the round. He maybe gets a pick, but what good is that pick if they lose? The goal for you should always be to make decisions that are beneficial to your team when bottom fragging, rather than making decisions that are beneficial to you, like possibly getting 1 kill and getting traded instantly, or worse, not getting any kills because you picked into 5 people trying to get a kill. Your decision making can make or break a round. I've seen duelists chase kills when bottom fragging on defense by pushing the attackers and instantly dying because they never communicated their plan and made a terrible decision to go at it alone. Did you get a pick? Yeah, probably, because you keep aggressing every round and you'll probably get a pick a few times, but now your teammate on site who you could have helped lock it down is alone and will get hit with 3 to 4 pieces of utility to kill them, which gives them an advantage to the enemy team. Your decisions have an impact on every single round, so start realizing that no matter how many frags you get or how many you don't get, if you're making poor decisions and putting your team at constant disadvantages, you're not helping you or the team. Remember, bottom fragging doesn't define your worth as a player. Shift your mindset, embrace your role and your team, and you'll find yourself contributing more and enjoying the game a little bit along the way. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to keep up with more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.